Hey guys, what is up? Zombie Dude 64 here. Before we begin this video, I just want to say a few words. I have some pictures going on here. I don't actually have any gameplay, so sorry about that. But I promise I'll get some gameplay as soon as I can to actually start doing these right. Let's get to the video of our first top 5 zombies. Storming in at number 5, we have one of the hardest places in Ascension. We have the 5 basements. So these 5 basements include the MPL room, the Juggernaut room, the room that leads to outside, the Steakhouse room, I guess you would call it. There's nothing really up there besides that. And then we have the power room. Whether it's a monkey round or a zombies round, whether it's single player or multiplayer, whether it's a clutch or not, it doesn't matter. Compared to the rest of the map, this entire place, all 5 of these rooms are really close quarters. Zombies spawn from every single direction, and it's just almost impossible to survive. It's always a huge debate over which doors to open, and it's hardly even worth the space. There's hardly anything there. One of the rooms is just a stakeout. The steakhouse isn't even that good. You're lying if you say you never go down here at least once per game. Burning into number 4, we have one of the hardest zombie maps of all time. So on all of the pictures, all of the loading screens, all the, just regular stuff about Verrucht, it always brings up the power room. Believe it or not, Verrucht was the first zombies map I had ever played. So technically the first thing I ever saw in zombies was that power room. When you look at it, that power room looks like it's supposed to be salvation. Everything's supposed to be great once you turn the power on. Once you get to the power room, everything's awesome. It's hanky-danky, it's hundy-dory. But no, you are wrong. First, you have to clear the entire half of the map, and then once you get there, it's probably around 5, 6, let's be honest, like 6, 7, or 8, and by that time you're probably struggling opening that door just to survive, and then there's nothing there. So you've wasted all your points getting here, and you maybe have one hit at the box before you have to go? Okay, now my real problem with this map is the fact that how far away it is from everything else. So let's explain it like a racetrack. A regular track is 400 meters long, and let's just say you start at one end. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but on the exact other side, 200 meters around is Jug. It doesn't matter how you get there, whether you go one way or the other, but you have to go the 200 meters. You can't cross through the middle, and then once you get there, you have to run all the way back. And again, it doesn't matter, but you have to run the full 400 meters. So if you ever get that annoying zombies player that wants to get to power by round 3, just remember what I said. Heck, I'd rather buy that bar. At least I'll get something out of it. Falling into number 3, we have one of the stupidest changes or glitches, or I don't even know what this is, but it's the stupidest thing in Black Ops 1. And I would like to state that this is solely for Black Ops 1. This was not happening in World at War. This is a Black Ops 1 thing. So you all know that little hole in Der Rise? You know, the one in the room with quick revive. Well, in World at War, it was just all fine. You could just fall right through. But no! In the Black Ops 1 edition, you have to fall through from an angle! Do you know what that means? That means, whether you have a horde or not, if you just simply jump onto the hole, you're probably gonna die. I don't know how many wasted downs I've spent, how many quick revives I've used, just simply trying to fall. Oh my God, it's annoying when you just stand there surrounded when you're supposed to be underground. And just simply running over it is enough. You have to stop. That's the most important part. You have to stop and wait for yourself to fall. And if you're not even standing on the spot where you're supposed to fall, guess what? You don't fall. So if this was not in Black Ops 1, if they just kept a rise out of Black Ops 1, of course, this wouldn't have even made the list. These next two are actually fairly self-explanatory, especially considering the rest of the list, but I figured I might as well talk about them anyways. Spawning in at number 2, we have the Shinonuma huts. It doesn't matter which hut you're in, all 4 are pretty much death. Whether it's your first time playing or your 1000th time playing, if you want to camp here or do anything that requires not getting a perk, you are going to die. Even at this point, even if just the box spawns in there, you're afraid to go in there because that crawler that you're saving for the end of the round, it might sneak up behind you and get you. And it's such a waste of points, you don't even know which perk you're going to get. Let's be honest now, nobody's ever going to use the traps and get away with it. Camping in these huts is basically giving the zombies a free insta-kill, because the moment you go in there, you're instantly gonna die. It's like giving them a nuke. What are you doing? Why are you helping the zombies? Why are you giving them power-ups? Stop it. Stop going in the huts, especially to camp there. There are much better spots anywhere on the map. Alright guys, before we get in my number one spot on this list, I just wanted to give a few mentions to a couple more places. So one of the places is Call of the Dead, that little place, that little cliff above the lighthouse, you know, where everyone always goes down. Well, I would put it on the list if it was actually a big deal. Say this map was in World at War, then of course you can't crawl, it would become a major big deal. But since you can crawl, since this is Black Ops 1, you can fall off the cliff and you can become easily revived. So that's why it stayed off this list. Another spot, and I know everybody out there is going to hate me for this, but the Mob of the Dead cafeteria. So I don't know what it is about this spot, I don't know what it is about the acid gat, but I first of all hate training there, and I hate the acid gat. I love the sweeper, Mob of the Dead is one of my favorite maps, but I just cannot stand that spot with those guns. The final spot isn't really a spot, it's more like a possibility. So the doors on Moon, we all know that we can't see behind them, whether there's an astronaut there, or a zombie, or even an excavator. There's typically something there that could lead to your death, and most of the time it's going to be an astronaut. So where this isn't exactly a place to die, it's a place that can easily lead to your death. It's my favorite spot, it's your favorite spot, it's everybody's favorite. Oh, who am I kidding? Coming in at number one, we have Derise's side rooms. I've died here so many times, it's broken my rage. I am so fed up. I am done with these rooms. Every single time I pass one of these rooms, I don't know if it's just me, but every single time I am going to go down. Especially the room on the right next to the FG42. That room is the worst. I think I have never ever made it through there once mid-round without dying. And I've played that map hundreds of times. I must have gone through there at least 1,000 times. And I must have gone down at least 3,000 times. It's that bad. I'm telling you, if there's a glitched zombie and you're out of money and you're trying to die, just go to that room and it'll work. You'd have a better chance if you tried cooking a grenade than trying to go through these god forbidden rooms, especially the one next to the FG42.